Shock Monkey Radio is entertainment for adults, by adults, and the views and opinions expressed here do not reflect upon FXBG Public Radio or its sponsors. For additional information, please refer to the United States Bill of Rights. Stand warned. So now that that's out of the way, welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I'm the Madman, and Nick, as always, is here with me again.
Yes, sir. Subbing in.
Subbing in.
For the Hill Hippie.
I think I might fire him, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's pissed me off lately.
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, I probably should talk about that off air. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love that guy.
Yes.
Me
too, yes.
Yeah, be sure to check out his show, Otherland Dreams. That's also on YouTube as well, like as my show is, and Badman Lowercase on YouTube.
And mine is also right after the show.
Absolutely. Below the Deck coming up. 6:30. All right. We usually start with our weekends. How was your weekend, bro?
Oh, I don't know how much I should go into this, but I had a funny
If you need
story.
to censor it, I understand.
No, it's not censoring, because I usually don't have anything super interesting, but you know me and you are avid beer drinkers, as always. As perfect
Speaking
timing.
of which.
Yeah, perfect timing, man. So, Saturday, just chilling, like always, drinking beer. It reaches around 12 o'clock, when people like us get a little bit drunk. And my brother brings up the fact that they have made house wine for the last 2 weeks. So they're like, hey, my brother's chef. So, hey, we made some house wine. You want to drink some of this? Bad idea. It does work. You can make wine at home. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And do not drink that after drinking a 12 case of beer at 12 o'clock at night. Dude, I woke up at 7:30. I was like, I need to make a sandwich. I need water. And they're like, so I was making all the leftovers in the kitchen. Like, when someone else points out what you're doing, and then you kind of like, oh, now I see.
I'm going a little overboard.
Oh, was I making pot roast and nachos at 7?
Making 2 pizzas at the same time? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my Saturday and Sunday morning. What'd you get into this weekend?
You know me. I like to absorb stuff, like catching up on Netflix and, YouTube and so forth. Mm-hmm. So I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about stuff I noticed this weekend. Hey, Brett Kavanaugh's back in the news. Did we go back in time? Or did the Matrix glitch out? Because I've got severe deja vu, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was waiting to hear what you had to say about this.
I feel like the Democrats are like Disney. They're out of ideas, and so they're just remaking their old favorites, Right.
So, hey.
Anyway, that's all I really want to say about that. But, good luck with that. Okay. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yes.
The last couple days, like a couple days ago, and wow, did he come off like a dick. I watched that whole thing, and I was just like, I was waiting for Joe Rogan to just smack him in the face. I would pay to see that, Joe Rogan. If you smack Neil deGrasse Tyson in the face for interrupting you for the fucking 50th time, and you just smacked him in the face, I would pay to watch that video.
If you smack me in the face for talking too much, we're fighting. I know I talk. I'm being quiet now, but don't put your hands on me.
But you're not Neil deGrasse Tyson.
No, it came off super bad, and I saw one that his kid was in a video, and he made a joke too to somebody else, and they were like, it was super. Oh, he was on Family Feud. He made a joke about Steve Harvey not having any hair. Steve Harvey made a joke about him having hair, and he's like, I bet you wish you had some. And then he kind of played it off, but they're like, he's like, I wish everybody could be a smart ass like yours.
Right.
Funny.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting that Neil deGrasse Tyson's getting a little full of himself.
He's a very smart guy, though.
Yeah, but he's getting a little full of himself.
But that's never what you want to see from a smart person. Is like, don't overdo it, dude. Like, we all know you're smart, but like, you can't buy into that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so what else? More Netflix.
What we got on Netflix this week?
I saw an excellent movie called Time Trap.
What?
Yeah, it's a B movie. Don't make no mistake, it's a B movie.
Right.
But any kind of movie that has to do with time travel or something like that, I'm definitely watching that because I love picking that stuff apart.
Yep.
But I couldn't. I had no complaints with the movie, and I just thought it was a really interesting concept and it was done pretty well.
What's it called?
Time Trap.
Okay, let me watch that this week.
You should check that out.
Time Trap.
There was a ridiculous movie called Officer Down.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And if you like a little bit of ridiculous in your life, I would suggest go ahead and watch it. But as far as movies go, it's not going to win any awards or anything like that. But it's if you just want to turn your brain off and have fun,
Right.
that's the kind of movie it is.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Did we talk about Bill Burr's special, Paper Tiger, last week at all?
No, we did not.
Okay. Well, I think I watched that either last week or this week. I can't remember. So here's the thing about Bill Burr. He's still funny. Don't get me wrong. He's still funny. But like I stopped listening to his Monday morning podcast. And it's because I'm sick and tired of hearing about your wife. I'm sick and tired of hearing about your kids. You know, I'm tired of hearing about how, oh, I got anger problems, so I got to work on my anger problems. It's like, dude, your anger problems made you famous.
Right.
And so in Paper Tiger, yeah, he had some funny moments and some, talking about fucking robots and stuff like that I wasn't really on board with because I never fucked a blow-up doll.
Oh.
And he seems to know a lot about what it's like to have sex with a blow-up doll. So I don't know.
Save this one for Nick picks because I have two things about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We go ahead. So yeah, no. Fucking dolls. Yeah. I mean, I haven't ventured into that category. I feel like even though we're independent radio show hosts, we still have not went into that level of independence. So shout out to whoever's doing that, but
You doll.
yeah,
doll fuckers.
yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Well, who is that? Whitney Cummings. She had a robot made of her.
yeah, I seen that. Yeah,
I mean, I can understand someone like me buying something like that, but her?
mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's like an ego thing or it's just you have old clothes that you don't know what to do
But
with. And
didn't she do the Viceland show?
I'm not sure.
That's why she does a Viceland show about the about sex in general, and
okay.
that's when it came about where they made one, and she was also kind of weirded out about it, but
Yeah.
she's like, it looks super like me, like this is super weird.
No, it doesn't. Do you know what the uncanny valley is, Whitney Cummings? Do you know what that is? That's those robots.
That's dude, I have a super thing about robots, and that's on next.
You want to save it for next pick?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm not gonna go. You gotta go through your stuff.
Yeah, that was my weekend catching up on Netflix and YouTube. So let me go into this first segment here. Have you ever seen a dragonfly perched on a car antenna?
Yes,
Yes.
dude, I saw you posted that earlier. Yeah, I did read about this one.
I would bet good money that all of you have seen a dragonfly on a car antenna. I remember a summer years ago, I was standing outside smoking cigarettes, knocking back a few Coca-Colas. And my gaze tends to drift, especially in conversations where it's about mundane bullshit. People talk about relationships and gossip. That stuff does not interest me at all.
Right.
And so, and these days it's like who unfriended who on Facebook and shit like that.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, during that particular conversation, I watched two dragonflies swap positions on two different car antennas, just flying. And this is for like 2 hours, man, just back and forth. Oh. I don't know. Is the other one nicer? I don't know. Flying and switching on. You tell me. What do you think? Okay, so and I realize that I frequently see dragonflies on car antenna, and I bet you do too. And in fact, the only time I see more dragonflies is when I am very close to still bodies of water. So the only conclusion that I can come to is that dragonflies find car antenna extremely comfortable. For example, when car antennas.
I wonder. I can't give you that one, dude. I think I'm a wordsmith, and I definitely do not have that. I will not go that far.
So when car antennae started appearing on cars, some dragonflies accidentally landed on them, and the antenna must have accidentally been ergonomically designed for dragonflies. So the first dragonfly who landed on a car antenna must have said, "Oh shit. This is the most comfortable I've ever been." Oh, it must have been like Edmond Dantes sitting in a chair for the first time in years. So the question is...
Oh, Count of Monte Cristo reference.
Cristo did. So the question is, do dragonflies think that we designed car antenna for them?
That's a good question.
And I wonder if they're ever sitting there on top of your car antenna. And it's like, these humans are so nice. They put these little seats for us. They see us out there flying around. We're tired. And they just perfectly designed this little seat for
It's like
Dragonflies.
a bench in the park for humans. They think that that's what it is. But here's a weird part about that. Based off the fact that the car antenna does track signal, right, from the satellites and things. Are they able
From towers.
But based off of the bugs, are they able to feel that? You know what I mean? That electric, whatever that's called.
There's
You know what I
probably
mean?
like a little buzz or something. You think they're up there
Right.
getting high? Just
Some sort of we're a little bit more intense than you. With us touching this, because being so little and having all their like little sensors, maybe that shit's getting them fucked up. Like set on this car antenna for 5 minutes, now flying all sideways.
it'll mess you up, man.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they're getting high off of amps.
Or the FM affects Dragonflies some weird way.
That's why they switched it from AM to FM. It wasn't having this many Dragonfly problems when it was AM radio.
Well, it's just I've worked at radio stations and I don't remember any, like for example, broadcast antenna. Mm-hmm. I don't remember like any serious Dragonfly problems.
Too much though. What about in the Navy? When you're in the Navy, have you ever seen the Dragonflies out there around the boats?
No,
Nope. So
because I mean it's salt water. You know, Dragonflies need fresh water
right. Oh, okay.
to breed. So
Well, don't give me the damn facts. Like I know the facts about Dragonfly. I was just going with you, man.
well, that's what I mean.
Just asking questions. I don't know about Dragonflies.
That would be funny.
What a random topic, also, which is so funny because I know that you weren't just getting smacked thinking about this. Like this is just a real thought that Batman has in his
Yeah, I
normal
was like
life.
walking out to my car. I saw a Dragonfly perched on my antenna. Got in my car and started, going about my day. And I'm sitting there thinking way too hard about this stuff. And I guess I did think about maybe they're catching some signals through there, or maybe they're sending messages to each other from one antenna to another.
Oh, I doubt that, but I mean, maybe they're getting like a little jolt or something in there, and like
That seems more reasonable.
got me a little jacked up. You know how fast I can fly after I sit on an antenna.
It must be the equivalent of licking a 9-volt battery or something like that to them.
Oh yeah, see, that is true though. That does happen in humans too. Maybe they're sitting on there. Shout out to Dragonflies getting high and Madman just figuring it out, man. They're getting high off of your amps, man.
Getting high in your driveway.
Mm-hmm. You can stop this problem.
Anyway, that was my little observation of the weekend. Is I saw this Dragonfly, and my mind just ran with it.
Oh yeah. Well, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't.
That's my problem. Is I'll think deeply about things that shouldn't be thought deeply about.
100%, dude. I have the same problem, I feel.
Anyway, I got a section here for next picks. What do you want to get
There
into?
we go. Robots. Robots have already taken over. People say that robots have not taken over. I told EK this early on the phone. Everybody has a robot in your pocket right now. Mine is here.
That's not a robot.
Motherfucker, this shit will compute and reaction and talk to you in any way. They slickly have done it to where we thought that, like, oh, everyone's going to have a robot and they're going to take over. Everybody has a robot in their pocket. And you won't go more than 100 meters away from your damn robot without it being on the charger, without you having it with you. They've already started. And that is a thing. And also with the kiosk at the McDonald's, you order your food from the robot, a human makes it. The robots are controlling the humans now. They've already done it. You can go to McDonald's and plug in your order in a computer screen and get it from a human being, but you pay the computer. You don't even talk to a human. No humans needed. Yeah, it just freaked you out.
A little bit.
No, I'm just,
a little bit freaked out
joke,
because you are right. You are right. The robots.
It's a little robot.
It's not a robot.
This is a robot.
No, I think
Ask it any question you want to. It'll tell you the answer. If you push a button on your phone and ask it a question, it will tell you the answer. Not even like pull it up on the screen. It will say out loud, like, yes. The ingredients for making homemade wine are 9 ounces, gallons, and 9/6 of.
I don't think Siri will answer that question.
It definitely does.
I
asked it because I drank homemade wine this weekend.
Hey Siri, how do I cook meth?
Well, you can't do that. That's the way you get the FBI to call your phone. You want to have a SWAT team come raid you, you know what I mean? Kids can get them to do it on the damn Call of Duty. You want to You want to get the FBI involved, you can look up a lot of stuff. There's certain things you definitely should not ask your robot. But
see, I don't think it's a robot. It's not a robot. I think what you're really concerned with is AI.
I'm not concerned with it. I just was, somebody told me, they were like, what if robots come over and take over? And I was like, motherfucker, you have a robot in your pocket. You pull out your cell phone and ask it anything. It'll tell you anything. It can tell you where you're at. If you don't have your cell phone, you can look it up on another device and it'll tell you where it's at. It'll call, it is 100% to me.
Yeah, it knows how far away you are from home.
You're never far away from it, though. Even when you're sleeping, you're like,
pooping.
Put it on there. Dude, that is not on Nick's Picks, but that is also, I told people, like, I was like 100% marketing. Like, you got to put stuff on the internet that people want to look at while they're taking a poop, because I guarantee you that 85% of people are looking at their Facebook on the toilet. It's when you have the most time.
I feel like that's rude, though. That's like talking on the phone with somebody when you're on the toilet. I find that to be rude.
On Facebook?
If somebody calls you and I'm on the toilet, like sitting on the toilet.
Well, you wouldn't answer the phone.
I wouldn't answer the phone.
I'm saying Facebook-wise, though.
But that's
everyone's looking at your Facebooks.
I find that rude if I'm looking at somebody else's Facebook or you're looking at Facebook in general while I'm on the toilet for the same reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't answer just because I got something to do. Like, while you're on the toilet, you're like, yo, I gotta take care of this, and then we can go talk business. But until then, it's like reading the news. Remember, people used to have newspapers. They used to be in the bathrooms where like you could go into a bathroom and there was already newspapers in there, because apparently people are like, I don't know who's in the bathroom for that long. That's another story. But the robot thing, 100% true. There was something else I wanted to say. What was the other story?
You were talking about Bill Burr or something?
Bill Burr. Bill Burr's got 100% on marketing-wise the best plan of all time, based off of the fact that he was really smart before he started being off the wall, that he owns the production company that runs his show. So he can't get fired. When he said the joke, when he was like, oh, they're house N-words, everybody was super offended. Like, why didn't HBO cancel him? And the HBO's like, he doesn't technically work here. He runs his own company. We just sponsor the content. We don't have to agree with it or not, but like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, what he said was wild, but he don't work here. Like, he works for his own company. Bill Burr has the production company that runs his show. He owns it. So he gets away with the other ones. I don't know. I don't see the podcast about him talking about his wife. I do see the show that he does on HBO every couple of weeks, and I watch that.
I don't think I've seen that.
Last week tonight's with John Oliver. He has a Bill Burr show that he does on HBO. Super good. They have a panel of 3 guests, and some of them are Democrats, some are Republican, and they go on there and just have it out. That's where he said the N-word joke, I think. But super. I mean, I respect his business aspect of him doing the say what you want. You know what I mean? And he did it the right way, based off of like anybody else. Like, even with your show, where you're like, yo, this, like, you can't get fired from your own show. Smartest thing ever. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess I'm like Bill Burr in that respect.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to.
I own the station, so
you can say,
I'm not going to fire me.
You can say whatever you want to at that point, and that. So I respect that on there, and I mean, people get kind of uppity. They did it. They fired the. Oh, you're going to talk about that.
Yes, that's the news story. We're talking about Shane
So
Gillis, yes.
You're going to talk about that, but yeah, but you did see the Mexican guy that's running for president, who was like, dude, in this day and age, like, people are making jokes and stuff, and people are taking it way too serious. Like, he's on Saturday Night Live. It's like, again, with us, we are not media. We're not journalists. We're radio personalities.
Right.
Where you're like, hey, I might talk to you about something, but I'm just telling you another story based off of my opinion.
Right.
It's not the news.
Yeah, and if you've listened to the News Worth Knowing, if you listen to the second half of the show, you know it's extremely peppered with my opinion.
Right. Because you're a personality, though. You're not you're not a journalist. You're not spreading
I don't click
news.
the news category. I click comedy category.
Right.
Okay?
You're talking about something that other people are talking about. So in that sense, like, you got to lighten up a little bit with some of the stuff, because everybody's not journalists and everybody's not the president. And especially if the president could say, grab her by the pussy. You know what I mean? Like, at what point can you not make a joke?
Or take a joke.
That's what I'm...
Yeah.
come on, dude. The whole at this point, everything's a joke.
I mean, if you're watching every single comedy special, looking at ways to be offended.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I could. There's better ways to get offended at comedy, and it's more like because it's not funny. That's what offends me. If I click on a comedy special,
I agree. 100%.
And it's not funny,
that makes me mad.
That makes me more furious than Dave Chappelle saying, the trans people are weird or whatever. I don't know what he said.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's a joke, dude.
Yeah,
It's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. That's why the joke should be funny. It made me laugh. This didn't make me laugh. And even though it was like, it wasn't controversial.
And generally, that's the only thing that pisses me off about comedy is if it's not funny.
Right. Yeah, it's an offense to people who think they know jokes. You're like, dude, I know jokes. This is not funny.
Oh boy!
I'd rather you talked about the other stuff.
Speaking of jokes,
go ahead.
I made some jokes last week.
Uh-oh.
You remember we were talking about Tulsi Gabbard and Marianne Williamson?
Yeah, I saw this. Well, so what happened with this?
Yeah, we got some emails.
I bet. We said though a disclaimer in the show.
We always do.
We definitely went back. No, not at the beginning though. In this segment, we were like, we're not just saying this because. Yeah. So go ahead. What they have to say, these sour pussies?
So, because I don't only think of Tulsi Gabbard and Marianne Williamson as sex objects. I know the conversation we had was about like who would you rather bang, Tulsi Gabbard now or Marianne Williamson in her 20s?
Yeah.
And I think that's a very interesting
20s.
Absolutely, Marianne. I'm sorry. Tulsi
20s.
Gabbard is still. She's. I don't know. Tulsi Gabbard. She does it for me. I don't know what it is.
Uh-oh.
It's so. And so that's what I talked about yesterday. It was all in good fun. We're just, I'm not going to vote for either one of these people. Mm-hmm. They're too Democratic for me. So for me, what I wanted to talk about was, who would you rather bang? But here's the point that I want to make in response to these emails of people getting upset. The fact that I had my eye on these two people is because after the initial debates, I knew that Marianne and Tulsi were the ones to watch. Tulsi was one to watch because she was ex-military and reasonable.
Right.
And so I thought for sure, and rightly, that the Democratic National Committee is going to sideline her, because they're trying to push this radical agenda.
Right.
With the Democrats. So I knew they were going to sideline her because she is the biggest threat to what they're trying to accomplish. And I don't know if I said this last week, but I believe that the President of the United States should be required to have military experience so they know what military bearing is, and then you don't get another jackass like Trump in office. All right? So, I don't like what the DNC has done to her, to Tulsi Gabbard. She deserves more support from her party, but instead they push Beto out front, and he says he's going to take away our guns. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Good luck with that, dude.
Oh, good old Beto.
Yeah.
He didn't even win the Senate race or something out there. So, I mean.
He's useless.
I'm just saying, numbers-wise, you got to watch all that stuff.
Now, Marianne Williamson is interesting because she is the flighty hippie type that wants to fight the evils of the world with love. And I think it's very cute, albeit naive, tack to take, but it does speak to her character. Someone who wants to fight terror with love is probably not a bad person. Okay? Unintelligent, unreasonable, maybe? Sure.
Yeah.
But not a malicious person with hate in their heart. So this past week, Marianne Williamson was caught, quote unquote, caught on a hot mic saying Fox News is nicer to her than liberal news agencies. Have you heard that? Have you seen that thing?
I didn't.
Okay. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you go search it out because it's interesting. You can make all the jokes about crystals you want, but this woman is being honest about her experiences while running for office. And once the primaries are over and Tulsi and Marianne have been swept aside and forgotten, remember that the culture in news agencies that Marianne commented on remains. So I just wanted to solidify my position on these liberal morons. I love them as people, and yes, Tulsi is reasonable, but they're still liberals, and I generally don't agree with them in their tax and spendaways. All right, sorry, you're still Democrats, but I mean the Democrats, I think you have a responsibility to put out reasonable contenders against someone like Donald Trump. I'm a Republican. I don't like Trump. And if he goes for a reasonable Democrat, I'm okay with that.
Can I say something?
Of course you
Real
can.
quick about this is what I've said about the elections for so long, which is why I didn't vote before, which is I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I'm like, I would rather somebody, like, I just assume they know. You're like, hey, a senator from so-and-so is running and a congressman from so-and-so. I'm like, one of these motherfuckers knows what's going on.
Right.
I don't know what the hell's been going on in Congress and Senate for the last 4 years. Those are the people who actually control bills and, like, the way that things work. Like, the president can make the suggestion, but those people are in there for 12. You know what I mean? The president's been in there for 2 years, or they're now going on 3, but, you know, 3 going on 4.
Yeah.
There's some people who've been in Senate and Congress for 14, 15 years. They know, however shady, regardless if it's shady or not, they know this is the system we've been doing. And not saying it's right,
Well,
but this is the way it works.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi said a comment about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez that she said a glass of water with a D next to its name could win that district. And that's the truth about a lot of places in America, especially like urban areas and stuff like that. If you just have a D next to your name, you're going to get elected because people in urban areas tend to vote Democrat. And that's why their cities have shit all over them. Do some research. Democrat-controlled cities have shit all over them.
I don't have any opinion about it. I just thought that the people who know what they're doing knew. And that's why, like, presidential-wise, where until, like, last year, I was like, man, like, this guy's an entertainer. We're entertainers. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't want, like, that's
I
what
wouldn't want
said.
us in that office.
I have no quarrel with Donald Trump. Like, I think what he said was hilarious. Oh, grab him by the pussy, but that made me want to vote because I was like, that's some shit I would say.
Yeah.
I should not be president 100% based off the fact
And if-
I would say some shit like that.
Then, yeah.
I would 100% grab him by the hell yeah.
Yeah.
That just sounded cool when you said it to your homie. You know what I mean? That's why he
That's
thought
right. It's great to say to your homie.
he was trying to be
It's
cool.
bad to be saying that stuff and
You
trying to be
can't.
president.
That's
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it on that scale. Like I was trying to be cool, but like that's
You're right. I mean, I think you mentioned this last week as well. The problem with Trump is that he's an entertainer,
Entertainer.
and we don't need entertainers.
no,
in that
dude.
office.
We can't be entertainers in there. None of us should be.
Unless Dave Chappelle runs, then I'll probably vote for him.
100% because he'll grab that pussy, even if it
I'm gonna
was.
grab that pussy.
I had to stick my hand in there. Scene.
I don't
felt,
mind.
It felt real.
I don't mind grabbing the pussy.
It felt real.
Yeah, I'd vote for Dave Chappelle if he ran. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's been a clown world recently.
That's
so
the
who knows?
serious thing, though, about that, too, to think about, though. Dave Chappelle, hilarious guy, super funny comedian, really intellectual thought about stuff where
Yeah.
you're like, I would vote for him. His intellectual thought, though, in his mind, I would never run for president. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't no fucking president. What are you talking about, dude? I do jokes.
Yeah, I think anybody who wants to be president of the United States is mentally ill.
Right.
Who wants that job? Not me.
Dude, it doesn't seem like the greatest job ever.
Duh. Oh boy. So let me pull this up. I gotta deal with a sponsor before we get into the news worth knowing. Running a little bit behind because I gotta go through this all again. Bring up. Okay, here's our sponsor. Yeah, so today's show is sponsored by the Madman Lowercase. The Madman Lowercase is 3 words, and you can find him on YouTube. He also puts out a free podcast called Shock Monkey Radio. Oh, that's weird to call it radio.
I saw that you put that on there. I almost wrote that on my Facebook. Oh, I guess it's a podcast.
Yeah, it's weird to call it radio. It's not really radio. It's a podcast.
But it's at a radio station.
I guess. Anyway,
You own it.
it's just I've been doing radio the whole. It's just it accidentally ended up calling our station FXBG Public Radio. We ended up accidentally calling my show Shock Monkey Radio. I'm just so used to it. Anyway, yeah, Shock Monkey Radio. Just search for that on YouTube. And there's a promo code here. If you are within verbal proximity of the Madman and you use promo code FREEHUG, you will get a free hug personally from said Madman. Because he loves all of you. Look, I'm just reading this ad as the sponsor wants me to. I have no emotional attachment to this ad. I am also a liar.
No hugs.
Yeah, use promo code FREEHUG. Search for the Madman Lowercase on YouTube or Shock Monkey Radio. This is rated. He provided a rated R section. Okay, use promo code Officer Down to receive epic oral sex. Use promo code Time Splitter to trigger a murder rampage. Use promo code GTA to trigger a shopping spree. So go over to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio and become a patron or advertiser today. That's patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Okay. So you ready to get into the news worth knowing?
I'm definitely ready. We can get that. Also, I'd like to say too, if you come down to 3rd Street, you know that second thing that he had on his list, you don't have to have a promo code for that. You know, just on Wednesday nights when I'm not on the radio, just
Oh, you talking about Officer Down?
listen. I mean,
Promo code Officer Down?
you don't need a promo code. It's just like, you know, $2 to
$2.
touch it, $2 for me to touch it, $1 to touch a year,
The $10 for a ZJ.
$10 to touch a your toes. So news worth knowing. Where we? We're right at 6:30 though. We're right on time.
We're doing good. We're doing good. So Antonio Brown's former doctor makes bizarre allegation about receivers' flatulence. Have you heard about this?
This is
Hilarious?
ridiculous. You can't buy into this because I'm gonna refuse to comment on this further than Antonio Brown got a new contract because he didn't want his contract. He's been acting like a dickhead. All this shit that's coming out right now is just like a fucking goof troop like storm of things for people trying to get it, and it is what it is. He got a new team. He's with the Patriots now. There ain't no bullshit going on. Like
Anyway, so I'm going to tell them about the story, our listeners, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Embattled NFL player Antonio Brown's former doctor says the football star repeatedly passed gas in his face and laughed about it during a consultation after showing up 3 hours late. This is according to a report published on Monday. Dr. Victor Prisk, who runs an orthopedics and wellness facility in Monroe, Pennsylvania, blasted Brown in an interview with Sports Illustrated over his bizarre behavior during their initial meeting in August of 2018. The first time you meet the guy, he farts on you. Quote, "It seemed just childish to me," Prisk said of the incident when then Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. Quote, "I am a doctor and this man is farting in my face." Anyway, his allegations are part of a Sports Illustrated report detailing rape and sexual assault allegations made against Brown by his former trainer. So this is minor by comparison.
No, all that has been
You think
already.
it's
There's
debunked?
I've already researched this story. A lot of it. I'm not gonna. That's why I'm not gonna say
Okay.
nothing about it. A lot. All this. This is a lot of bullshit on the back end. It's not even. None of this is actually real shit.
Anyway, on Monday, a second woman, an unnamed artist, alleged that Brown exposed himself to her while she was working on a mural for him in Pittsburgh home in 2017. Brown's lawyer denies the assault allegations. Despite being wary of Brown's flighty reputation, Prisk said he took the initial meeting with the NFL star and subsequently took him on as a client. Now the doctor is suing Brown for $11,500 in unpaid fees. Prisk said that whenever he would bring up the payments, for which he was claimed he had an oral agreement that he would pay $500 an hour, Brown would pivot to promises of the two going into business together. In this very first meeting with me, he said, "I want to get you on salary. I want you on my team," Prisk said. Why would you believe this guy? He continued to say, he tells you he's going to make it totally worth your while. He's going to invest in your business, invest in you. You're part of a family. Call God and all that. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't even pay the bill. Farting in people's faces. So you saying this isn't real? This didn't happen?
It's a lot of them that have been coming out off of this backlash that he got signed to the Patriots. So a lot of these,
you think it's because people are hating on the Patriots?
people think that somehow Bill Belichick got him to get signed out of his contract to come over there. Here's the thing: how you gonna get signed to the team that's a Super Bowl contender? They don't care. That is literally the team that doesn't give a shit. But all of this stuff hasn't come up until you had a problem with your prior employer. And now, everything. They had a thing on there that I saw today. $2,000. He didn't clean out a piranha fish tank he had in his house, and he owes an aquarium guy $2,000. He's not trying to pay him. This motherfucker has a $28 million guaranteed contract. You're talking about he didn't pay me $2,000? That is, if you know what I mean? $28 million.
You think people are just getting greedy on him? They want a piece?
People are taking a shot at him because now is the time, because he acted like a little bitch to get out of his contract.
I got you.
100%. He did not want to play in Oakland, and he acted like a bitch to get out of it, and he got out of it. And now everyone's like, oh, well, he's been working with the Patriots to get out of it, and then the other ones, and then the doctor. Nobody said this the whole time that he's been working for the Pittsburgh Steelers for fucking 5 years, making the most money in the contract. Nobody.
Yeah, he did say it happened last year.
Nobody's made up this. Oh, as soon as he started going to start being like, he started weirding out based on, he started bitching out on his contract.
Right.
He wanted more money. And the reason he was mad at Oakland was because he got hurt. And he told the trainers about it, and they didn't want to go through the training process that he wanted to go through. They were like, nah, man, you'll be fine. Just get back. And he's like, no, I fucking hurt my knee.
Oh,
I need to get back.
Oh, you're talking about rehab, yeah.
Rehab,
okay.
yeah. He wanted to do rehab differently than the trainers at Oakland wanted to do it, and that's when all of his contract and everything. Pittsburgh didn't have a problem with his contract. He wanted more money. And then he went to Oakland. He had a problem with the trainers. And now, the trainers are, oh, well, he farted in my face. It sounds like a joke, even in your mind. This guy's out playing. He played yesterday. He scored a touchdown, had like 100 and something yards in a game. He plays football.
See, this is why I hate football, is because you obviously like it.
No, I don't care. I just know the story because I just read about it because you're like, dude, what? The biggest thing was they said that he called him a cracker, which is why he got fired. And then now the GM comes out. He's like, he never called me a cracker. He said some shit that I didn't like, but he didn't call me a cracker.
Right.
So now you're like, so he didn't even call him a cracker. And now you're like, oh, shit, he farted in my face. Oh, he didn't pay for an aquarium bill. He's not liking his caterers. Or you're like, why was nobody saying this 2 months ago? Soon as he became a thing, everybody's jumping on it because he's the biggest.
You're right. This article, it does say that this happened in 2018. So this happened last year.
The rape girl also is his ex-girlfriend, who, when I read the messages that he actually sent her, after this encounter, what he said to her was like, you're making me feel like I was a creep. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we were both like, we knew what we did last night. Like, you're making me feel now like I did something rapey.
Yeah, I got you.
Nobody who rapes somebody says that to the rape victim. Like, you're making me feel like I'm rapey feeling. Yeah. So, I mean, they're piling on the dude because it's a story right now.
Because it's football.
And that's why. It's football season. Nothing exciting is going on.
Yeah.
Nobody is excited about football based off of the race thing, and then it made like, oh, Colin Kaepernick's not in, and the kneeling thing, and the Jay-Z deal. Yeah. Nobody actually cares about the players.
So they're trying to manufacture drama?
It's just exciting because it's WWF. Vince McMahon set the tone for how sports entertainment works, and that's why. You are in it, the whole stories, everything, man. It's something to talk about. It's something because who wants to talk about the Browns playing the damn whatever they played, the Jacksonville last night? That was the game. It was a shitty game versus two shitty teams. Surprise. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody, oh my goodness, the best player went to the Patriots.
So I'm getting dragged into this football drama.
Yeah, it's not.
So I want to move on.
Yeah,
I want to move on.
I would love to move on.
All right. So Shane Gillis gets support from SNL alum Rob Schneider after being fired over racial slurs. Now, I don't know if you've been following this, but Shane Gillis, I guess he got hired over at SNL, Saturday Night Live, as a writer, I think. But, I'm
not sure if he might have been on one of the skits or two, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I think he was a writer.
But this is what Rob Schneider tweeted. He said, at Shane McGillis, as a former SNL cast member, I am sorry that you had the misfortune of being a cast member during an era of cultural unforgiveness where comedic misfires are subject to intolerable inquisition of those who never risked bombing on stage themselves.
There you go.
It is Rob Schneider, though.
Yeah, right.
for what it's worth. Sorry,
Shoot
Rob.
your own shot. Yeah,
sorry, Rob. But so he was fired from Gillis was fired from the NBC late night staple after a YouTube video surfaced of him using a racial slur while discussing Chinatown neighborhood with another comedian. Gillis responded to the backlash on Thursday, hours after the comments first resurfaced. Quote, I am a comedian who pushes boundaries. I sometimes miss. If you go through my 10 years of comedy, most of it is bad. You're going to find a lot of bad misses, he tweeted. I am happy to apologize to anyone who is actually offended by anything I've said. My intention is never to hurt anyone, but I am trying to be the best comedian I can be, and sometimes that requires risks. It apparently wasn't enough for SNL and NBC Brass.
Of course not.
Yeah.
They fired Roseanne.
Yeah. After talking with Shane Gillis, we have decided that he will not be joining SNL. Spokesman on behalf of Lorne Michaels said. I can't remember about producer. Went on to say, we want SNL to have a variety of voices and points of view within the show.
No, you don't.
And, yeah, no, you don't. And we hired Shane on the strength of his talent as a comedian and impressive audition for SNL. Quote, we were not aware of his prior remarks that have surfaced over the past few days. The language he used is offensive, hurtful, and unacceptable. We are sorry that we did not see these clips earlier and that our vetting process was not up to our standard. You probably saw the videos earlier. You just didn't give a shit because it was funny.
Oh, no. That is, see, I didn't see what he had just said, but I am an avid, you should not get fired for something you, dude, I mean, let's, go ahead, sorry. You should not get fired for a joke, though.
Gillis later tweeted, of course I wanted an opportunity to prove myself at SNL, but I understand it was too much of a distraction. I respect the decision they made, and I'm honestly grateful for the opportunity. I was always a Mad TV guy anyway.
That is why people got pissed about it.
You are still working, sir.
They got him on the Fox. He's going to get a Fox job.
So that's, yeah, he probably.
What was, though, do you have the quote that he made? Because that's the biggest thing I've seen, everything about it, but no one's quoted the quote that actually everyone said was offensive.
Yeah, I think I saw.
Are you one of those people, or?
I saw a clip on, I think, Gavin McInnes, his channel, where he was talking about him, and he showed the clip, and it was they were talking about how Chinatown, I'm not sure which city he was talking about, was super Chinese and stuff like that, and I guess it's just like observations about how like Chinese culture is codified in some of these places where it's, you turn a corner in a city and then all of a sudden you're in a foreign land, and it's
facts.
And so it's like, I think it was like doing like Chinese voices.
See, like I told you that people think that shit is racist.
I know that, and those people are stupid. It's not.
But
I
know that's I understand. We're making jokes, and it's a thing. That was the biggest thing I saw was on TMZ. TMZ's ready to bash anybody, and they were like, dude, they were like, yo, he made a joke about stereotypes. Some stereotypes, though, are true. Mm-hmm. Regardless, they like, oh, it's a bad joke that people make about it, but you're like, what you said is not a lie. Just because you made a joke about it doesn't mean it's a lie. So you're not just bashing somebody making a stereotypical joke.
Well, I mean, how joyless is your life where you watch something like that and choose not to laugh and instead just choose to be offended? I mean, I think a lot of people are caught up in this wheel of offense.
That's what I said to you, though.
You wake up in the morning and you start scouring social media for something to be offended by. Are there people that really wake up like this? And I think that there are.
The
probably white women.
The Spanish guy that's running for president right now said like something about
Julian Castro.
Oh no, he's a Chinese guy. No, Andrew Yang. He was Andrew Yang. He was like, listen, dude, like, I get like, oh, you could take this offensively, but like, in like, what kind of culture do we live in that like you don't see like he was making a joke?
He was making jokes, yeah.
And at what point, like, some of this stuff that he said though is true.
Yeah,
where you're like, oh, some stereotypes for Asian neighbors or black neighbors or white people all of them are true.
Yeah,
like
the offense comes from willingly ignoring humor or willingly ignoring satire.
Right.
We all do this shit, dude. It's something and if you were like, oh, I don't see everyone doing it, and that's the point. You got mad about it because you know it's true. That's the whole thing. You're like, oh shit, I do that sometimes. I don't really want to be.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like YouTube and podcasting. I mean, this has brought the camera into everybody's living room, and you know what people talk about in everyone's living room?
Race.
Well, not just race.
Black people.
No. They talk about these things like it's okay.
Oh, in your living room. Oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, your living room is not supposed to be the public square.
No, it's not.
Even if you're doing a podcast in your living room,
No matter what you do, dude, your public space is your private space. I mean, your private space is your private space. And that's like the guy from the Clippers. The girl recorded him on the phone saying all that crazy shit.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
got fired. He was talking to you. He wasn't talking to he wouldn't have said that to everybody else, regardless that he felt that way. And obviously,
That was a funny fucking recording.
oh man, it was horrible for him. That was so bad. And that's why it's really bad whenever you get in your private space, and you know what I mean, like where you think you're in a private space where, you know what I mean,
Where it should
behind
be-
the
it should
scenes,
be safe.
I would say different things to you, and that's why, because this could be taken racistly, even though it's not.
Well, here's the thing. For example, if something happened, like I don't know, I put out a video on YouTube that goes viral. Next thing I know, it's got 8 million views or something like that.
They're
And
bringing up the dick sucking joke I made last week.
exactly. Then you have people who are like,
Sorry.
I don't like this guy. He's fat. He's got bad teeth. He's stupid looking. I mean, it's.
I don't think that's what they'd have a problem with you.
Well, I mean, or he's just fucking white, and so
It would be
and they would
your
sit there and they'd
words.
go and like download YouTube, download podcasts, going all the way back, going back to the Mixler days, finding old podcasts with me, scouring through it, just trying to find something they can clip out of context to make me look like a dick because my YouTube channel is all of a sudden more successful than theirs.
I would say 100% that is true. Also on mine, if you go back to mine, I said that shit. 100%. I said that shit.
Yeah, you want to drag
you
up old
want to go take my shit out of context. I said that shit in context completely. If you want to suck dick for water, don't fucking put your show together the right way. Shout out to Fire Festival.
And don't expect me to apologize for anything I've said either. So
Dude,
I
it's
mean,
words, man. We're talking, dude. We never and that's the biggest thing about
there's nothing malicious about it.
without being malicious intent. You
Yeah.
never making fun of transgender people like Dave Chappelle did or whatever. He never said, "Hey, we should go beat up a whole bunch of gay people." And he also never said, with the people that get mad about the Trump thing, he has way more say than people where he said, I didn't say not to beat up gay people. You're like, what the?
Right.
You're the person who's supposed to say not to beat up gay people. You're just like, hey, listen,
It's called the burden of proof.
I
People are
said
ignoring
the
it.
same thing Dave Chappelle said, and I'm the fucking president. You're like, hey, listen, either way, I don't have to choose sides. You're like, dude,
That's the point. The burden of proof is going away.
you have to choose sides.
And that's why they're like, Brett Kavanaugh is obviously guilty. And I'm just like, you have no evidence. You have no evidence.
Making fun of somebody and actually like planning a hate crime against them is two different things. And the thing is not making fun of somebody, because that's the thing. It's not even somebody. It's just a general joke.
Yeah.
In general, well, this could offend a lot of people. And you're like, in general, I'm not actually talking about a real person.
Right.
We're not hate criming.
I'm going to go quickly through this next story because I think it's funny. Deer photobombs wedding pictures and eats the bride's bouquet. This is a couple in Michigan where a deer wandered in during their photo shoot and
Nobody killed it?
Stole the bouquet. I guess it's not hunting season in Michigan right now.
Dude, I don't, dude, anything that's bigger than me, I'm killing it.
Really?
I don't know. I'm worried. What are the deers just standing in your wedding? What are you just going to do? Just let it stand there?
Well, I just don't. Why can't you move?
But I mean, you try to. Obviously, somebody had to have tried to move it.
Well, I mean, it's like that. I don't know if you ever heard that. I think it's a fake radio call where some lady's saying about the deer crossing signs. It's like, why don't they move those signs to a safer place so the deer know to cross there instead? And I'm just like, it's like, I don't think you understand who those signs are made for.
But I mean, how long are you being nice to this deer for before it started to eat your bouquet? Because you had to give it other food too, because it's hanging around for a reason. It's like raccoons.
Yeah.
Animals will hang around if you feed them and they're nice to people. But I live in the woods, dude. If you see a deer by my house, I open up the door. They dipset. They're just wild deer. They're not like, hey, we're gonna feed you.
It's also like throw them chewing gum. It's
Nice.
hilarious.
Throw deer chewing gum?
Yeah.
Do they
They'll
eat
chew it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so funny, dude. That's gonna be the next
Just
video.
throw them some bubble yum or something.
Check out Shock Monkeys next week. I'm gonna try to get.
Try to get a video of a deer chewing gum.
If I don't get arrested by the park ranger. Hey, a boo boo. What are you doing throwing gum out here?
feeding the deer gum.
Yeah, I got a picnic basket.
Okay, let's go to this next story here. Illinois lawmaker pooped on by a pigeon while discussing problems of pigeon pooping at train stations.
Oh, the perfect.
Did you? This is an Illinois lawmaker speaking to the media on an issue of pigeon poop at a train station in Chicago. Was pooped on by a pigeon mid-interview.
Congratulations.
Way
you
to
played
drive
yourself.
your point home. Way to sell it. This is State Representative, I want to say Jaime Andrade, a Democrat of Chicago, was discussing the problem.
Sounds like a boxer.
Yeah, sounds like a boxer name. Was discussing the problem with WBBM TV, a reporter outside of Irving Park Blue Line station when the bird sprung into action. I would phrase that differently. Did I just get no? He like touches his. Did I? Oh, I get a little bit bird poop. Anyway, so yeah, they published a story on Monday when these.
It's never a problem until it happens to you.
Yeah, I have to go clean up. That's what happens to my constituents. They get shit on all the time, and I'm just like, oh man,
Boom.
zing.
Way to go, though. Way to go for the comeback because you're getting shit on talking about
Taking
something.
it in stride. Taking it in stride with poise and rationality.
That's the perfect way, yeah. And then also you threw a zinger out there like, I got shit on, but y'all get shit on every day.
Why don't you just get offended at the pigeon? You call the pigeon a racist. And why are you shitting on me? Because I'm a minority? Because I'm a Democrat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pigeons only shit on Democrats.
Because I'm brown?
You heard it here first.
Racist pigeon.
Mm-hmm. Pigeons are racist.
Okay. You ever had one of those benders? One of those nights where you're just drinking and drinking
Yes.
and you get a little lost? Lost in the squishy blackouts?
You gotta catch me at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I told you my Saturday drinking
Right.
house wine at 12. So what happened?
Anyway, Pennsylvania man is rescued from a garbage truck after falling asleep in a dumpster.
Oh no, never like that. But yes,
Never had one of those?
That
Okay,
is
good.
That is great. That is a fucking phenomenal story. I wish I did, dude. I wish I could get that drunk.
Yeah. A man in Pennsylvania was living a nightmare early Monday after he fell asleep inside a dumpster and woke up screaming inside a garbage truck, officials said. The unidentified man told police he had gotten separated from his friend the night before and needed a place to go sleep. Choosing the nearby dumpster, Pittsburgh public safety officer Kara Cruz said in a statement.
Holy shit, dude. I think I seen this because somebody posted a video of them like,
Oh, I'm sure they
there's
got
a
video of
dead
it, yeah.
body in the back of this dump.
No, he was just sleeping.
But that's why. But somebody was like, yo, there's a dead body in this truck. And they're like, is this real or fake? Like, they're like, maybe it's Halloween. That is
Right.
probably that same story because it wasn't, where's that? Philadelphia?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, dude. That is, that might
probably
be
it,
the
yeah.
same story.
Yeah, a driver with Republic Services was emptying a garbage container into the back of his truck at about 3:30 a.m. when he heard man's screams growing louder. Damn. Driver told police he left the truck and opened the sliding door to the rear, and he discovered the man. Unable to get the man out himself, he called for police for help. Pittsburgh firefighters eventually pulled the unidentified man. Nobody wants to know. He doesn't know. Don't give out my name.
Fuck no. I was in the
Yeah.
back of a dump truck.
They pulled him from the back of the truck, and the man was taken to a hospital with minor injuries to his face and knee. He took a tumble into the garbage truck.
All I want to say is 100% what everyone's thinking is the scene in Star Wars.
Right, the trash
You're
compactor.
in there just like every time that's closing a little bit more. Dude, you're screaming louder and louder every
Yeah.
time. You're like, dude,
Shut down all the garbage smashers below the detention level.
yeah, 100%. You don't have no R2D2 or C3PO in there.
Yeah,
with
C-3PO
you.
was useless,
So-
so you don't need it. You just need R2.
You cannot. Yeah, that has to be horrifying. Also, you got to think about, you've been there. I've been there too. That's why. I've been like, hey, I'm 100% coherent, hanging out, and then like, I just woke up. And then you're like, what? You're like, we were up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, I just woke up right now. You're like, what happened in the last like 5 hours? You're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And that if you just woke up inside of a trash truck, Either you have some real fucked up friends who were like, yo, this could be hilarious. He's going to wake up and get out, and then he almost dies because he doesn't. Or you're a super dumbass because
Why would you
how
choose
did you
that?
get in there?
Why would you choose to sleep in a dumpster?
If someone didn't prank you, why did you get in a dumpster? Also, or why did you get in the back of a trash? How did you not wake up from a trash truck fucking throwing you over?
That's a very good question. How drunk were you?
Dude, that's a good night, man. I wish I could get that drunk. You know, I like to drink, but
Okay, well, yeah, we're coming to the close of the show. We got about 5 minutes left, and you know I like to end things on a happy note. A
unless I ruin it.
unless you ruin it. Right? Man donates a kidney to a stranger after finding a note in an eBay package. A man in Scotland went under the knife 2 years ago to donate his kidney to a stranger. Said he didn't even know it was legal to do so until he heard about it on the radio. Ray Duffy, 53, said it started with a package his wife purchased off eBay that contained a note from the seller about why they had chosen to sell their belongings. Quote, she had also written a thank you note explaining that her husband was on a transplant waiting list, had lost his job, and now they would sell things that they didn't need on eBay so they could buy their kids a treat. This is what Duffy told SWNS. She said that she drew the pictures to put a smile on people's faces as they had helped put a smile on the children's faces. Aw. Duffy said the note stuck with him, and at the time he didn't know about living organ donation. I felt so helpless, he told SWNS. But 2 years later, he stumbled upon a radio segment about a man who had donated his kidney and the process of altruistic organ donation. He said the segment inspired him, having never forgotten about the woman's note, and that he signed up to be a donor and started the testing process immediately. In March 2017, Duffy donated his kidney to a stranger. According to Organ Donation Scotland, more than 400 people are on the transplant list waiting for a kidney. The average wait list for a kidney is from a deceased donor is 3 years, which is why the organization applauds over 500 people in the last 10 years who have chosen to become a living donor. It was a very humbling experience. This is a quote. It was a very humbling experience to be able to do something like that for someone else, he told SWNS. I know it's not for everyone, right on that, and it's a huge decision, but for me, it just felt right. I think that's really, really nice and everything, but like, I'm not giving up my parts.
It's fucking crazy because you can die doing it.
Yeah.
And that's why, dude, I'm not, you know
Well,
what I mean?
it's exactly why I wouldn't get any like plastic surgery, because even in that, you could die.
If I die for you, I would want to be like in action, where you're like, yo, people were shooting or something, and you're like, I ran out there and tried to
more
like,
heroic.
save you. And you're just like, yo, I went in here willingly and they put me to sleep and then I died because I gave you my kidney, and now I gave someone else my kidney, and now 2 other people are living and you're dead.
Chilled in the hospital eating ice cream.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Yeah. You were fine. You were fine 2 days ago. Now you are not. So, also, though, super positive, and that's shout out to people who want to do that, because
Absolutely.
that has got to be like such a crazy, really like thought process of that, because you could, like, the same as your kidney taken to somebody else, your body has to take to you having one of them.
Yeah.
So you're not,
you got to adjust. Yeah.
Somebody's they could give somebody their kidney and it not even take. And body could not take having one kidney. Someone who drinks as much as me, I know damn well I need like 4 more extra kidneys inside my body. But
that's my point. It's the same thing with the liver.
yeah, I need 2 more of those. I need a thing. Organ donor. I'm an organ user. Like, what you got?
It's just that if I got to the point where somebody says, you need a new liver, and it's like, well, I'm not asking anybody else for something I destroyed. I respect somebody that's like, I'll give you a piece of my liver so you can grow some more liver, and I'm just like, don't do that, dude.
I'm going to destroy this one too.
I'm going to destroy that one too. Don't waste your liver on me.
See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are, 1 minute till the close of the show.
Positive notes.
Yeah, we try to end on a positive note.
Leave me a madman to our own devices.
I don't know. You kind of been throwing a monkey wrench in my positive notes, but
no,
it's okay.
that was
I don't
positive.
mind.
That was super positive. You said that, and that's why you were like, yo, don't even save me. But at the end of the day, the message is positive, and everybody else that's sending it to anybody else is super positive on that level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just really like being able to to do something that big though, like legitimately putting your life online and not being like family or military situation or like, you know what I mean? Because whenever you like, you get bonds with certain people based off of certain relationships you have
Right,
with them.
right.
And you just doing that shit for a stranger, that's super. I mean, kudos to you because
Absolutely.
you know, like we were saying earlier, you could spend all your time fucking complaining about the Democrats, they got a D by their name, and I spent all this time doing that, and you're like, dude.
All right, so we're running over on time, and the guy who has the next show is a real D-bag, and he's going to get pissed if we don't end the show.
If I don't start my show at 7:30, I'm going to pee my pants.
So tune in to Below the Deck with Nick as always. Thanks for coming by again, filling in. I appreciate it, man. I'm the Madman, and I love you.
Make sure you guys go to Madman, the word lowercase, and get this on the YouTubes.
Yeah, check out the YouTube. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio and support us. We'd really appreciate it. Become an advertiser. I'm the Madman, and I love you. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.